So if we could just go through a few of these photos, what's going on? Who is this guy and what's going on in that picture?
Yeah, that's actually the second win at Chapel Hill. We got a picture of the first win around the corner there, which is obviously that's one of the biggest wins for me at Clemson, is to end the streak and to then go back up there and validate it shortly thereafter. Was a lot of fun, and that's just about the end when the buzzer's sounding and Tigers are getting their second win in the Dean Dome.
Here's a little bit of a flashback in comparison, but
who
are these three dudes right here?
Yeah, that's funny. That's obviously Coach Sweeney and Jack Leggett and myself. That's maybe year one here at Clemson and on the football field there before a game, and just had a lot of good memories with all those guys. Jack and I shared an office. When I first got here, our offices were across the street, and so baseball offices were right around the corner from us. And so Jack would pop in my office a lot. I'd go down there and say hello to their staff, and obviously we had a lot of good times together during those few years that we were working together.
And what are some things that you and Jack would talk about coaching-wise, or what could you?
It's a lot of it at the beginning was me just, both Dabo and Jack just, learning about Clemson. Right, and as much as I could find out about Clemson and what they did in recruiting to sell their situation, and then as our relationships progressed, then we start talking about different things. Both of us would go back and forth with either great stories or sometimes questions about how to handle situations that we were dealing with, whether it was players or strategy or off season or motivation or just all different kinds of stuff, and still do that occasionally with Dabo and starting to develop a little bit more of a deeper relationship with Coach Bakich too.
So tell me here about the family and the role they played in you deciding to stay at Clemson and extend and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's obviously a picture of my wife and my daughters many moons ago when we kind of first got here. They're obviously Clemson grads now and off doing well, living in Greenville, and obviously, one of the hard things about coaching is just how much you're away from your family and obviously pouring time into your players. But you got to have a great wife to help raise your children, and she's done an unbelievable job. I'm super appreciative, and the fact that both my daughters are Clemson grads and now living in Greenville, life is pretty good, and you never want to mess with happy. So my wife is ecstatic that they're this close now. My oldest used to be in Bluffton, and so to get them all close is great. Abby's a teacher. We're really proud of her. That's kind of part of my history with our family. My family's a family of teachers and principals and assistant principals, and so to get her in the teaching profession is exciting for us. And then Kate works in a marketing firm up there in Greenville. They're both doing great.
So this basketball here, you got 400 wins. Just when you look at that and you think of how many moments came into this accomplishment, what comes to mind for you?
Well, I think the first thing is how appreciative you are of all the people that helped you win the games, because the players are the ones making the plays, and you had a great staff that helped you put together plans and help develop players to put you in a situation. I think, for me, you're just blessed by the fact that you've been able to be at Clemson as long as I have. Obviously, there have been some ups and downs throughout my 15 years here, but, the consistency, I do think we've been pretty consistent. We've been consistent in our approach. Obviously, the winning has improved as our facilities improved. And, I'm very proud of all of that and know that played a vital role in getting to 400 wins. So, that was a great night, 400th win against Duke, right there in Littlejohn a couple years ago. Yeah, World University Games, that was a special couple of weeks. I don't think people realize how hard that is to win. I think Baylor played in that this year, represented the United States in the World University Games, and really these are some of the premier athletes, especially the swimmers and track athletes, and you go on to see a couple years later, you see those same people in the Olympics. And so that was a cool couple of weeks for us. Our guys played great. Kind of a little bit of a rebuild for some of the guys. We lost Shelton Mitchell and Eli and Marquise Reed, part of that Sweet 16 team. And that team was kind of led by Amir Sims and Tevin Mack and Curran Scott, I think, were transfers that came in for a year. Hunter Tyson was certainly a guy who was growing in the program at that time. And then you had the Chase Hunters of the world and Alex Hemingways and Alamir Dawes, who were freshmen. And just really proud of that team, because finding a way to win that tournament was not easy. A lot of teams go there from the United States and don't win. And that was the team that then the following year ended the streak in Chapel Hill. So a lot of good memories with that 1920 team.